Okay. This shows that on certain subject matters, Michael Knowles, you are a complete idiot. And stick with what you know, because what you're about to say, you know, again, you clearly know nothing about the subject matter. But let's humor this guy. Is not nearly as smart as he wants everybody to think he is. Kind of like, of course, he runs in the same circles as Ben Shapiro, so that's not a surprise.
No evidence why it shouldn't have been Shakespeare. And if it was some guy named Bob, like what difference does it make?
Bob Shakespeare.
Bob, Billy.
I love when they say Shakespeare was actually multiple people. I think because you know what produces really great art? Committees. Committees are known for their artistic vision and skill, right? All right, no question.
Yes.
I am more inclined to believe that the Earth is flat than that bodies were recovered from Roswell.
Okay, after we answer this, we have to diagram.
Yes, so basically, I'm seeing many verbs.
Very simple. The Earth ain't flat, and yes, bodies were recovered from Roswell. But let's see where you take it, Mr. Genius.
And like a lot, yeah, sneaking. Okay, so I am trying to decide whether you think it's more likely that the Earth is flat than that bodies were recovered from Roswell. Oh, this is actually really hard. I thought it was easy to mention that.
It's not that hard.
Ring. Hey, boy, oh boy. Okay, this is good. This is a good one. Once we rewrite,
I'll drink it just in solid.
Okay.
No, I am much more inclined to believe in the flat Earth theory, since the Earth actually is flat.
No, you're an idiot.
This is Stone from Peugeot's thing.
This is Owen Barfield.
Yes.
Okay, Michael Knowles. You mean to tell me you've never been to a beach before a day in your life? You can't clearly see the curvature of the Earth's horizon over the ocean? Okay? Only an idiot thinks the Earth is flat.
Yes. Okay. So that was why I instantly went for, and then I thought, actually, he's probably going to say that Owen Barfield. Yes, go on.
I also, like, demons exist. Aliens don't exist, but demons exist.
Right.
But they don't have bodies. The definition of an angel or a demon is that they're pure spirit.
Right.
You're an idiot. Okay? They are physical. ETs are not demons. Okay? All I can say, and you encounter something like a Draco, why you think it's a demon, but they are physical. They are 3D, just like us.
Right.
So they didn't, whatever they found at Roswell or whatever,
wasn't
Soviet spy planes or whatever. If they found a demon, they wouldn't be able to grab his body. He doesn't have a body.
Right. But what about?
There's been documented reports, okay, from eyewitnesses at Roswell. They'll tell you never shake hands with the gray. The reason why is because grays eating shit through their skin, and they're covered with digestive acid and feces. So if you do touch one of them, you break out in a really horrible rash. Okay? So yes, I can tell you, because I've encountered little fuckers, that Zeta Reticulans are quite real and they are physical. And no, it wasn't a Soviet crash test dummies. What the fuck you... Dude, you are fucking gullible if you believe that.
What about counter argument? What about what Beatrice says to Dante when he asks her whether the blessed souls really are on Venus or really are? She says they showed themselves to you here not because this is their sphere, they all live in the Empyrean, but as a sign for you, since this is suited to your senses. And in this way, the Bible condescends, right? To speak of God as having hands and feet, but means something else. Yes, all of this to say, right, like might it be the case that although angels and demons don't have bodies,
they could appear to have bodies at Roswell?
Yes,
I suppose that's true, but I guess the way I picture that, because we entertain angels unawares, and I could give you examples where I'm quite confident this actually happened.
Okay, this got to be good.
Yeah, I didn't reach out and grab them. I kind of wonder if there really were demons or something, at Roswell. The moment that the cops went out there to get him, it'd be like a bee.
Cops? Dude, is like your skull 5 inches thick? Cops. Okay.
ghost movie where they go grab it and just like, just kind of fall right in. Yeah.
Interesting.
Now,
Except that didn't happen because it's documented evidence to the contrary. Of course, you never bothered to look at it because the only thing you read is the fucking Bible. And that is not, I'm sorry, but that's not an accurate source of information.
so I was correct on the flat earth thing?
No.
You were right.
You're more inclined to believe in the flat.
And you believe them. It shows that your age and IQ is also the same number.
Well, but only, is that what you said that I'm more inclined to believe? Right, but only in this Owen Barfieldy way, which we should probably define since people are going to be watching us, which is to say that the notion that there is a scientific theory of physical space that doesn't simply correspond to our perceptions, but actually outlines the bedrock of reality.
Yes, dude, it's called quantum physics.
Is heretical and a scientific fallacy.
Yes.
This is why
it's called quantum physics, you idiot. You're the one who believes in the fallacy.
Right. This is the problem with Galileo. It's not that he thinks the Earth revolves around the sun, it's that he thinks there is an answer to does this Earth revolve around the sun or vice versa, which reflects some absolute fundamental truth, which makes that fundamental truth physical rather than spiritual. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So we're
because that's what they say.
Yeah.
Sometimes if people ask the Galileo question, it's like, does the
physical rather than spiritual? Well, physical is pretty tangible. Spiritual is esoteric. So I'd rather much focus on the physical than when it comes to things like, I don't know, determining if the earth is round. All right, we're talking about physical geometry here. So
the earth revolve around the sun? I'll say man is the center of the universe. I'll say, but does the earth revolve? In the best way I have of describing reality is that man is at the center of the universe. That's right. And they will say, no. I get it, you're using some stupid metaphor, but like literally, objectively. Well, literally, and you're telling me that the fundament of reality is some stupid rock? That's not true.
No, dude, we're not the center of the fucking universe. All right. We're only aware of our own perceptions, or limited perceptions, because we've been trapped on this planet for God knows how long. All right. We are not the center of the universe. Get that out of your head.
Nobody really believes that.
Right. And it is in fact true, so far as I understand, that you can describe the universe as, revolving around the Earth. It's just that equations are a lot more complicated. But the fact...
No, dude. Only because you're from the perception of being on Earth. Trust me, the rest of the universe doesn't care.
That they're more complicated doesn't mean that they don't actually describe, they don't predict the outcomes of our observations. Right? That is all, like, it is a kind of a fiction, a pernicious fiction, that when we write math which predicts physical outcomes, we are somehow getting something more
theory, hypothesis, and then experimentation. It's called the scientific method. Have you ever heard of it?
Than the experience, the quote unquote subjective, by which people usually mean arbitrary, right? Experience of the world as it occurs to our senses. Right. This is like a real problem. And so the argument that the Earth is flat is not that if you walked far enough, you'd fall off it, but that in your experience of the world, it is flat. You don't have to account for its curvature as you walk. You can see it's, so.
Again, I use the beach metaphor. All right, you can clearly see the curvature of the Earth at its horizons when you see the ocean. And yeah, it's kind of concerned if I want to travel anywhere within a significant distance.
So yeah, I think that's true, although that's not what the conspiracy theory means.
I guess the conspiracy theory is also scientific and is also referring to a physical, but yes, if someone said, Michael, well, the question that keeps going up, what is a woman?
Right.
Is what is a woman? And unfortunately, the conservative answer keeps being 2 X chromosomes and a uterus.
That's right. Adult human female.
Adult human female.
That's better than 2 X chromosomes and a uterus.
But the real answer
Go on.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice. That's a much more accurate and
It is.
descriptive answer.
It is, yes. Yeah, I would say, it's a two-legged rational animal, the female gender.
Right.
And
No, adult human female is a dictionary definition of a woman. Although certain forces have been changing that, trying to. But still, all I do is look up any medical textbook, any dictionary pre-2015, any encyclopedia. Definition of a woman is an adult human female. You don't need to say anything more, anything less.
yeah, and these there is this problem, and this happens a lot, I think. It occurred to me just the other day that there's a certain form of biblical literalism, which is also scientistic. Because you start
biblical realism. Okay, dude, you're just pulling shit out of your ass because there is no such thing. But your explanation, this should be pretty good.
out with the true statement that everything in the Bible is true.
Yeah.
And then you defend that statement by trying to claim that
everything in the Bible's true. Seriously, dude? You really think the story of Jonah's whale is true? Come on, man. No, there might have been truth at some point. Somebody witnessed something and had it written down, but then you got, translation losses. You got game of telephone being played. Not to mention that there's over 600 books out of the 65 that compose the current Bible. That means you have less than 10% of the information. So no, the Bible is not a reference source. Now, maybe eventually when things do get disclosed and everything's been withheld in some Vatican vault gets revealed, and you have the entirety of the Bible, then yeah, you can use it as a reference. Oh, by the way, the word Bible comes from bibliotekles, I believe, which is the root word for the word library. So the Bible isn't meant to be one book, it's meant to be a library of books. Of course, you wouldn't know this, because apparently non-Christians know a lot more about Christianity than practicing Christians, and I find that ironic.
every word of the Bible corresponds to a physical event in space and time. And which, again, if you chase this down, you get, like in the Psalms, you get the earth revolving around or you get the sun rather moving across the sky, revolving around the earth and so forth. And this is a con that the libs pull the traditionalists into, which is they say like, oh, well, you can't prove, show me on a map. And then our response is like, yes, I can show you on a map. It's the XX chromosomes, it's the whatever. And of course the response should be, that's a completely childish and untenable view of the world, even according to science, right?
Yeah.
Like even once you get down to the quantum level, you realize that perception does have this like.
Dude, you wouldn't know science if it bit you on the ass.
Fundamental role.
Right. Describe a kiss.
Exactly.
Like, it's when these lips, which are made up of these atoms, kind of do this, like it's like this thing, and then like maybe a little like a tongue with your French kind of comes.
Yeah. And then dopamine.
And then the dopamine surges,
right.
And then that's what a kiss is, right?
Of course. Okay, so it's my turn. Here we go. Okay. Okay, well, this is going to be easy. There's no possible way that a gin selfie could be considered an appropriate thing for a self-respecting man to post on Instagram. Well, my answer to this, but I'm not sure I know yours. We're going to spill a little tea here.
Are we going to pull out gym selfies?
That's right, yeah. And maybe take away my phone for that. Okay, there's no possible way.
You're correct.
Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna drink it.
Yeah, I choose to as well.
Okay, you are also correct.
And I must have gotten this from you, so I guess it.
All right. Here's the thing. It's like, you got the Bible, among plenty of other books meant for spiritual guidance. Anybody who takes a literal interpretation of a book that's largely based off of metaphor, are very, how can you say it, nearsighted. If you really want to know what the grand original designer is doing, get your face out of that fucking book and pay attention to synchronicity. Watch the way the dominoes is seemingly fall into place in your life. That's what you pay attention to. Pay attention to what God is doing in real time, not what events that happen, supposed events that happened thousands of years in the past. All right. Well, till next time, peace out.